Welcome to the interview.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a sophomore at Utah Valley University, majoring in business management. Because of my desire to work in the healthcare industry, I'm seeking out internships that will help me develop skills necessary to excel in this field. I have always wanted a career that would enable me to make a difference in my community. I have strong leadership skills and I work well in team environments. I hope to find an internship opportunity that will help me reach those goals.
Nice. Tell me about a time you showed initiative. What prompted you to get started and what were the results?
When I was working for a financial firm, my boss came in and handed me a list of bonds that needed to be overlooked. Some of them were past due, some of them were going to be expiring soon. And our customers really needed to be able to have those bonds so that they could continue to get money in their accounts and continue to build their portfolio. So I made sure to go and do a bunch of research and try and find bonds that I felt could replace those that would be better than or just as good as. So I did a lot of research and was able to find those bonds and make an Excel spreadsheet and be able to give that to my boss in a timely manner. And it was gratifying to be able to do that and to be able to make a difference.
Nice. What do you feel you have to offer above the average employee when it comes to accomplishing your daily responsibilities and goals? Can you share a specific example?
Something that I've always cared a lot about is being punctual. Whether that is showing up to work on time, whether that is with a project that I have to do, I've always cared about making sure that it's done on time and in a timely manner. That's something that I feel sets me apart from others. And I feel that it's something that I have a strength in and that I am able to continue to build upon and learn more about.
Tell me about a time when you didn't agree with a corporate strategy or initiative. What was the strategy and why didn't you agree with it? And then what did you do?
When I was working for a pest control company, they had a sales initiative that they were really pressing for us to do over a month in over the summer. And they really wanted us to sell as much product as we could without really caring about if that's really what the customer needed or if that was in their best interest. And I didn't feel right about this. I felt that was not very integrable. And so I decided to kind of go against that and do something that I felt was right. And so I would always approach the customers and I would do a survey of their house and of their yard. And I made sure that the things that I was bringing up was something that they actually needed, and that I felt suited them best for their house and their specific needs. And at the end of the day, I felt a lot better about the work that I was doing and the products that I was selling to them because it was something that they really needed.
Describe a time when you elevated the level of value you brought to a customer over time. How did you accomplish this?
When I was working at the financial firm, I was over about 10 clients, and I was over their portfolios and how they performed over time. And I remember I met with one specific client multiple times, and he told us some of his goals that he had, some of the things that he wanted to change in his portfolio. And I noticed that as we took notes of those specific things that he talked about, and as we called him, and as we approached him about the various different things that he did want to change, he started to see that we really cared about him and his insights and his values. And as we did that, I began to build a relationship with him, and we also saw his portfolio grow over time, and it was a great experience for me.
Great. Can you recall a time when you were less than pleased with your performance? And then what did you do about it?
At one time I was working in a warehouse, and I had to count many tires over multiple days. It was to count inventory. And by the last couple of rows, I was feeling pretty tired and worn out. I had counted for about 3 days, and I was just finishing counting, and I wasn't completely sure on the last rack, but I went ahead and submitted it. And when it came back and they decided to go through and count things, I realized that I did miscount it, which would have costed the company because we had about 10 tires that were missing. And that to me was a great learning experience to me, to always double check my work and to always make sure that I did the best possible work that I could before submitting or turning in something that I was in charge of.
Describe your level of competitiveness. Tell me about a specific situation where your competitiveness helped you achieve better results than your peers.
Over one summer, when I was working for the pest control company, we had sales targets that we had to reach. And a lot of times when we'd reach those targets, we would get a bonus in exchange. So we had about $100 bonus that I was really wanting to get over a month's period. And I decided to look up videos and look up different sales tactics that worked best to be able to win people over to something you're trying to sell them. And as I did those various tasks that I learned about, I began to see that I was able to build relationships with the customers and I was able to make them feel comfortable. And then when I brought something up into the conversation about something else that I felt could help them in their yard or property, they were much more willing to take that. And I was actually able to win the sales competition for that month and get the $100. And so it was great to see that I'm able to thrive in competitive environments, and it's actually something that I enjoy.
Can you think of an example when one of your customers was not pleased with something you or your team did? What was the situation and how did you recover?
When I was working for the financial company, we had a specific stock that we invested in. It was for the company Kraft. And the person was less than pleased with that stock over time. He felt that it hadn't been performing very well, and we didn't do a very good job at informing him on why we invested into that stock for his portfolio. And so we decided to bring him into the office and make things right. And as we did that, we went over the stocks and why we invested in it, why we felt it was a good investment for him, and he was able to feel much happier with that. But it made me realize that we always need to put the customers first and make sure that they're comfortable with the decisions that we're doing and make sure that we're doing what's in best interest for them.
Yeah. Tell me about a time when you identified a new, unusual, or different approach for addressing a problem or task. How did you come to this solution, and what was the outcome?
When I was a sales representative for Ski and Sea, we weren't selling enough ski jackets and snow pants, and we came together as a team to try and figure out how we could be able to improve sales in those areas. So we decided to do what was called a group package, where we sold a helmet, a snowboard, bindings, and either jacket or a coat, or a jacket or snow pants at a reduced cost from what you can normally buy each individual item at. And as we did that, we began to realize that there were many people who actually needed those items. They just didn't feel the need to spend more money than they needed to at the store, but because they had the discount thrown in, they were much more enticed to buy those products. And so it was interesting to see how we were able to change that challenge into a great success and be able to get a lot of money from that.
Nice. Share a time when you were able to directly attribute your probing skills to solve a problem with a difficult customer.
Also, when I was working at Ski and Sea, we would have many customers come in who were frustrated, but I remember one specifically came in with a boot that he was very unhappy with, and he felt that we didn't fit him very well, and he was angry. And I remember I just decided to take the approach to be very kind to him, to sit him down, and to let him know that we'd make things right with him, whether if it was a discount or we would exchange the boot or we would do another fitting for him for free. And I noticed that as I was very kind to him and approached him in that way, his whole demeanor changed. And the next time when I came over to him with my manager, he was much happier and had a greater feeling. And it just taught me that the way that we approach customers when they're angry or co-workers or anything, we just approach them being kind back to them, and it does a lot in return.
Nice. What was the most useful criticism you ever received from an immediate supervisor? And how did you embrace this feedback and achieve a positive outcome?
When I was working for the financial firm, my boss approached me and told me to always chase a career or a pursuit that was something that I was passionate about. And that's always stuck with me, because as I've looked for different careers and looked for different jobs, I've always looked for something that I know that I'm passionate about, because I know that I will perform the best and I will do the best of my abilities in that suit. And as I've done that, and as I've done more research about things that I actually enjoy, I noticed that I do perform a lot better. And so that was a great learning lesson for me, that you don't always have to do something that you don't necessarily enjoy, but you can pursue things that you do enjoy so that you can do the best that you can.
Good. So do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering when I will be able to hear back from you guys about the interviewing process.
Probably in about 2 weeks.
Would I be able to follow up with you in about a week?
Sure, that'd be great.
Great. I'm so very grateful for this opportunity that I've had to interview with you and your company today. I know that I will be a great asset to this company. I have great leadership skills and have a strong work ethic, and I know I can really add to this company. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.